will eat this whole thing if you need me to. It's chicken.
Lab-grown meat. On paper, it's a brilliant idea. For starters, it reduces the environmental impact than the current conventional meat production. It requires far fewer natural resources, generates significantly lower greenhouse gas emissions, and eliminates the need for large areas of land and water. It addresses ethical concerns of animal welfare by producing meat without harming animals. It can even be designed to have a lower fat content and fewer contaminants. And finally, it reduces the reliance on antibiotics used in livestock farming, mitigating the risk of antibiotic resistance. But is all that actually true? Or is it a well-executed marketing ploy to part you from your hard-earned money, with no concern whatsoever about your health?
For the first time, U.S. regulators approved the sale of chicken made from animal cells. It allows 2 California companies to offer lab-grown meat to restaurants. The cultivated meat is grown in steel tanks using cells that come from a living animal, a fertilized egg, or a special bank of stored cells.
You know, when I walk into a room at any sort of conference, I can see in people's eyes like, oh, this is the next big evil corporation that's going to put things in my food that I don't understand.
Who are these evil corporations that are going to put things into our food? There are a few companies in the lab meat industry, but the real players to watch out for are Upside Food and Good Meats, both of which have now received USDA clearance to sell cultivated meat in the US, with both companies receiving a no questions letter by the government, essentially deeming that their meat is as safe to eat as that from a slaughtered animal. They've made it their mission to cash in by pushing lab meat into the market, regardless of how bad it may be for your health. And just how bad is lab-grown meat? Well, let's find out.
The United States Department of Agriculture, the kids call it the USDA for short, has just approved the sale of lab-grown meat. Now, you might be wondering, why should we be worried about lab-grown meat? Lab-grown meat poses serious health risks. The mainstream media conveniently ignores this part of the story. These synthetic creations are produced in laboratories using unknown chemicals and processes.
So the process in making lab-grown meat begins with scientists performing medical procedures on animals to obtain their stem cells. These cells are subsequently transformed into immortalized cells, enabling them to multiply indefinitely. Unlike healthy cells with a limited lifespan, these immortalized cells keep dividing and don't naturally die off. Do you know what does the exact same thing in our bodies? Cancer. Yep, tumors. These are exactly what immortalized cells are. Afterward, these cells are cultured in petri dishes filled with a growth medium containing essential amino acids like glucose, vitamins, inorganic salts, and a critical component, fetal bovine serum.
In layman's terms, it's baby cow blood.
A growth supplement derived from unborn calf fetuses. The serum extraction process involves killing pregnant cows and collecting blood from their unborn calves. This is accomplished by inserting a needle into the still beating heart of the fetus without anesthesia. Finally, the petri dishes are placed in a specialized container called bioreactors, where the cells are allowed to multiply until they reach the desired quantity. Once these tumors, with the characteristics resembling meat, are ready, they are packaged, shipped, and made available for human consumption. Yummy. This abomination is nothing short of disgusting, but the real concern is the danger it poses to our health. This meat is growing outside of animals, right? So how is it able to fight infection? I mean, it doesn't have an immune system, does it? No. These cells are pumped full of chemicals like antivirals, antibacterials, antifungals, you name it. With such a high concentration of these drugs saturated into the meat, there's no telling what effect this could have on our bodies. Not to mention, this meat is made from literal tumors. There's no telling what the long-term effects are, but yet they're about to be freely served up to the public. So, Upside Foods and Good Meat are investing significantly in research and development, strategizing on how to persuade both the government and consumers alike to embrace and normalize their lab-grown meat products. Their marketing approach is designed to tap into the public's concerns and guilt about animals suffering in conventional meat production, while also convincing you that lab-grown meat is not only as healthy as traditional meat, but possibly even healthier.
99% of the meat that comes to our table is produced according to fundamental first principles that do not scale.
The impacts of farming animals so that we can eat them have become really devastating. ethically,
Air quality so bad.
for our health,
A highly contagious avian flu.
and especially for the environment. These scientists think there's a way to keep meat on the menu while making it more efficient and environmentally friendly.
No animal was designed just to make meat. An animal was designed to be an animal, love living its life, have babies, heal broken bones, run around, and live as long as it could by feeding itself the food it can find.
Their marketing strategy bears a resemblance to the past sugar versus fat debate, where sugar was once believed to be healthy and fat was considered something to avoid. Later, it was revealed that the sugar industry had heavily funded research that downplayed the risk of sugar while emphasizing the dangers of fat. This is precisely what Upside Food and Good Meat appear to be doing. By the close of 2023, lab-grown meat is anticipated to make its debut in select US restaurants as consumers willingly embrace this weird alternative. This marks just the start of a broader mission for Upside Foods and Good Meat. They will engage in extensive lobbying and financial influence campaigns to persuade the government to expand lab-grown meat availability, ultimately striving for packaging that is virtually indistinguishable from conventional meat. If these efforts prove successful, the consequences could be a future where consumers are deprived of the right to discern the origin of their meat, while these corporations reap substantial profits. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please take a moment to hit that like button to show your support. And if you want to stay updated with more awesome content like this, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And together, we can continue to create valuable content. Thanks again for being a part of our amazing community.